Shabbat Shalom. I'm Cantor David Reinwald, if I haven't met you yet, and this is my first mostly musical Shabbat. I'm so glad to have all these talented musicians here with us tonight. And for those of you here in the sanctuary or out there in Zoom land, I hope that you're all going to be dancing, whether in your seats or on the aisles or whatnot. I shouldn't be the only one moving up here on the bima. We are going to get started with a few more songs to warm up the space here. And we're going to start with Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umelo. 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 Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Ya'alu Sadai, Ya'alu Sadai, V'chol asher bo, Ya'alu Sadai, ay, 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 Ya'alu Sadai, V'chol asher bo, Ya'alu Sadai, ay, 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 as you're running new, Kol Atzeyar, 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 Ya'alu Sadai, V'chol asher bo, Ya'alu Sadai, ay, 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 Ya'alu Sadai, V'chol asher bo, Ya'alu Sadai, ay, 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 as you're running to Kol Atzeyar, 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 Ya'alu Sadai, V'chol asher bo, Ya'alu Sadai, ay, 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 Ya'alu Sadai, V'chol asher bo, Ya'alu Sadai, ay, 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 ay. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'istachadu lehakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'istachadu lehakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'istachadu lehakodsho. kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu Adonai Eloheinu romemu. We're bringing in the joy of Shabbat here, but in order to complete that joy, we have to make sure we all are connected and know each other. So I'll give you a moment, if you haven't yet, turn to someone next to you or behind you, introduce yourself, wish them Shabbat Shalom if you already know them, make a new friend. We are going to turn to page 20 and 21 as we now welcome in the bride of Shabbat with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemo tiferet v'litila lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh v'machshava tchila lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela hitoreri ki vaoreku miori uri shir daberi kivod alayik nigla lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. We rise, Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha u'v'tzolam, toch emuneh, am segula, Boi chalam, Boi chalam. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. This is a good one to dance to. This is Shalom Aleichem, page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem, Boachem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni V'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni V'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Woo! Great. We continue with our Chatzi Kaddish, page 26. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon u'chayedecho beit Yisrael bagala uv'izman kariv imeru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam ulal me'al maya yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha berichu le'ela min kol berchata b'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru. Amen. We rise for our call to prayer, page 28, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Amvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. This is one of my favorite songs. The song is called Roll Into Dark, and it's the English and Hebrew mixed version of this prayer, which you can find some of the words on page 30. But actually, you don't really need to look at them. Just look up here and you can roll your hands as we say, roll into dark. Here we go. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, night becomes day. Day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. One more time. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Page 32. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amecha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu B'shorvenu v'kumenu Nasiach b'chukecha ונשמח בדבריהם ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 34. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one, and we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. You may be seated as we chant together V'ahavta, page 36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Let's join in reading on page 41. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace, the song of freedom, Mi Chamocha. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלם, מלכותך רעו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלם. We turn to page 42 as we turn our thoughts to asking for peace as we seek peace on this Shabbat. This is Hashki Venu, written by Dan Nichols. There are some English words here that I'll feed you as we go because they're not exactly as what is on your page there, but this is a beautiful setting, one of my favorites. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Shomereinu L'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom. Guide us in wisdom, compassion and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomereinu L'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomereinu L'chaim. 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 Vishamru, page 44. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et hashambat lasot et hashambat ledorotam berit olam Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et hashambat lasot et hashabbat ledorotam berit olam beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti leolam Vishamru bnei Yisrael et hashambat lasot et hashambat ledorotam berit olam Vishamru bnei Yisrael et hashambat lasot et hashabbat ledorotam berit olam ki sheishet Yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat lasot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et hashambat lasot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash uvayom Hashvi Shabbat vayinafash Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat lasot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat lasot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. All right, I hope you are tapping your toes. We're going to move toward our Amidah prayer as we move to pages 46 and beyond. We will rise in body or in spirit as we join together in these words. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Anora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei HaKol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה כל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד אתה, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We take a few moments to ourselves to continue until we reach page 60. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם. Our thoughts turn to those in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit, as we turn to Mi Sheberach, page 253. We think of Tanya Bass, Alan Snyder, Joey Dawn Gillespie, Alex Botkin, Jack Glasser, Rhoda Sugarman, Gary Katz, Janice Keeley, Michael L., Howard G., Stanley W., Hanita Kasowski, Alan Wolk, George Gurnith, Jennifer Pinson, Kathy Lowery, Pat Fields, Jamie Adams, James Adams, Miriam Fruma, Manny Gordon, Ruth Fax, Arnie Kamen, Keely Roberts, Cooper Roberts, Sarah Perman, Livia Bat Chaim, Stan Savrin, Susan Horn, Devora Bat Fay, Dr. Kevin Smith, Robin Neft. We also think of Lori Roselle, Joey DeLuca, Matt Milanick, Ann Nordenberg, Jerry Spargel, Shirley Spargel, Harav Rachel Bat Shmuel Ufruma, Leon Heller. And if you are thinking of anyone tonight you would like to include in this blessing, anyone of any faith or tradition, please feel free to share their name at this time. We think of all of them and all those in need of healing as we join together in these words. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bisheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. It is time that we will share the good things that have happened to us in this week or in these past weeks. Like, come around if you would like to share any simchas. The mic is open. Any simchas?
Tomorrow, my beloved grandson Nicholas will be 5 years old. And those of you who knew Kira when she was 5 years old, this is her son.
I think it's a good thing. My son adopted a rescue dog who's very smart, the dog, and and David has him at night, and we have him most of the day during the week. And I am working on training the dog. I don't have to walk the dog in the morning or at night, so that's all good. But we have him the rest of the day.
What's his name?
His name is Bravo.
And what kind of dog?
He's a English, not English, an Australian cattle dog.
That's why he's smart.
That's right. And one of the blue ones. There you go.
And he'll want to run.
I will be going to my 40th high school reunion tomorrow. Alder days.
On Sunday, I'm going to a trip to my grandparents' house because we are waiting for our house we are about to buy to close. Soon, on August 18th, I'm going to turn 8 years old. We're moving to Pittsburgh.
I'll do that.
Our granddaughter's about to turn 2 this month, and she's already learned how to say no.
I'm thrilled to be here with my son Ethan, who's playing drums, my sister Elizabeth, who's visiting from Atlanta, and my mother, who's visiting from South Negley Avenue.
We join back in these words of O say shalom. Oh, say shalom, bimrohumav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imeru, Amen. So a few other simchas here. Let's see. For Terry Kennedy, today is the 19th anniversary of my positive biopsy results. And for Sarah, she became a great aunt today. Mazel tov. All right. So I decided that I had to share with you a good story. I'm glad you came out in the rain to hear this good story. It's one of my favorites to tell. And it's a story that takes place in a city called Chelm. You may have heard of it. Anybody ever been there? Well, in Chelm, there are the wisest men anywhere. They live there in Chelm. And once upon a time, when the nights were bright and the moon was new, The wise men of the town of Helm stood outdoors beneath the open sky, and with faces upturned, they chanted the traditional blessings. Gimple prayed along with them, but as befits the leading citizen of Helm, his mind was busy with the more pressing earthly problems. What will happen to Helm, he brooded. Things are getting worse and worse. I must think of something soon. Rocking in prayer as pious Jews do, he gazed up at the bright moon. Suddenly, like a thunderbolt, he sprang up joyfully. Helmites, we are saved, he cried. Caught at the end of their prayers, the astonished Helmites froze with the last words on the tips of their tongues. Helmites, listen up. We will capture the moon, said Gimple. Capture the moon, they repeated in utter amazement. Yes, you know that all good Jews must pray to the new moon each month. So here's what we'll do. We'll take down the moon, wrap it up carefully, and hide it in the temple. Then all the Jews from all over the world will have to come to Helm to pray to the moon. And by charging them a small fee, nothing expensive, of course, we'll become the richest town in the world. All of our problems will be solved. Helmites, we have a wizard amongst us. Sometimes we forget how much we owe him, they said to one another. Yes, we'll be so rich, cried some others, but don't forget, we'll give poor folks a piece of the moon for nothing. Wait, added Gimple, I haven't finished. I have more ideas. After we've kidnapped the moon, we'll wash it and scrub it and clean off its stains so that it will shine brighter and clearer. Then we'll comb it and polish it and rent it out to all the big cities. And instead of using lanterns to light their streets at night, they can put up one bright, neat, well-washed moon. That'll save them lots of money and we'll become rich. We are saved, said the Helmites, and they praised God for having blessed them with Gimple and his wisdom. Suddenly, a small voice was heard. I don't like to make a pest of myself, it said, but would you mind telling me how we're going to get a hold of the moon? Everyone looked in the direction of the voice, and there, sure enough, shaking with fright at his own boldness, stood Beryl the beetle. How would you do it, Beryl? Said Gimple mockingly. Beryl was silent for a moment, then he offered timidly, well, we could collect all the ladders in Helm, tie them together, lean this great, big, long ladder against the temple, and let me scramble up to lift the moon out of the sky. Just as I thought, the village fool has spoken, said Gimple. And then all the Helmites took this as a signal to laugh uproariously. Come tomorrow night and you'll see how it will be done, Gimple concluded. Poor Beryl said to himself, why did I have to open my mouth? The next evening, the marketplace was black with people. Not a Helmite was missing, and even the rabbi was there, all wondering how Gimple was going to perform the miracle. In the sky, the moon shone brightly. They had not long to wait. Gimple arrived, followed by 2 Helmites, carrying a tub full of red beet soup. After them came 2 more Helmites, carrying a sack, a rope, and some sealing wax. Stopping in the center of the square, Gimple commanded, put the tub of red borscht here. The 2 Helmites obeyed. Gimple raised his voice so that all could hear. Helmites, lift up your eyes and look. High above the moon is shining in the dark blue sky. Now look down into the tub of beet soup. Thereupon the 12 foremost citizens approached and looked into the tub of the red borscht. Yes, they said and nodded their heads. The same moon that is in the sky is here in the soup. Hand me the sack and the rope and the sealing wax, Gimple thundered. The others hastened to do his bidding. Quickly, Gimple covered the tub with the sack, tied the sack tightly up with the rope, made 10 knots and sealed each knot with the wax. "Now," said Gimple, "the moon is ours. We'll hide it in the temple, and on the first dark night, when there is no moon in the sky, we will be the masters." A couple of weeks passed. One dark night, toward the end of the month, Gimple announced, "Helmites, this is the night we take out the moon." And then 12 of the Helmites were given the honor of bringing the tub from the temple to the square. There, Gimple and the mayor examined the treasure together and made sure that no one had tampered with it. The cords were knotted and the seals were untouched. All around were assembled the people of Helm. Everyone wanted to see the moon taken out of the tub. They planned to carry it to the well, rinse it carefully in the clear water, and then hang it up again in the sky. Gimple went to work. He broke the wax seals and with a sharp knife cut the knots. The ropes fell away. Quickly he snatched the sack off the tub and shouted, "Let there be light! Let there be light!" The people opened their mouths, all ready to shout with joy, but the night remained pitch black. Gimple thought that the moon must have gotten stuck on a nail. He overturned the tub of red borscht. It flowed all over the square, but the night still remained dark and black. Only the sweet smell of beet soup hung over the disappointed group. In the silence, from way at the back of the crowd, someone was heard to mutter, "I'll bet my way would have worked." However, since Gimple had failed to bring forth the moon, it was too dark to recognize Beryl. It took a great deal of Gimple's eloquence to explain to the Helmites that due to their negligence in failing to use preservatives, the moon had melted in the beet soup. For hours thereafter and late into the night, one could notice numbers of Helmites wandering around the square, peering at the cobblestones and actually seeing spots of light from bits of melted moon. There was another little incident which occurred a few weeks later in connection with the moon event, which shouldn't be left untold. One night, Beryl happened to run into Gimple coming home from the synagogue. Beryl pointed to the orange moon riding low in the heavens and remarked, "I don't like to criticize you, Brother Gimple, but was it right telling us the moon melted when it really escaped?" Gimple replied with the greatest tolerance, "This is not the same moon as the one we captured, Brother Beetle. Every month, there's a new moon." Shabbat Shalom. So I want to take a moment to thank all of our amazing musicians that have joined us tonight. Thank you for bringing such spirit. Thank you to Ethan on percussion. We have Bob on bass and Bob on guitar. Larry in the back on percussion. Janice, thank you so much for all the arrangements and organizing everything. Lisa on flute. Doug on guitar and harmonica. Harmonica's amazing. We have Laura on keys and Michael on mandolin. Thank you all. I got everybody, right? Yes. Right. And Robert on guitar. Thank you. All right. We have a few announcements. We'd like to thank our greeters, Elliot Oshry and Mark Beck. Our musical program is made possible with generous support by an anonymous donor. Tonight's ONIG is sponsored by Watts, and you are invited to join us for upcoming classes and events this coming week. Please go to the website for more information and registration. Tomorrow we have Torah study on site and online at 8:30. Our service will begin in the chapel at 9:15, also on site and online. Tomorrow night we are hosting for the very first time the community-wide Tisha B'Av service, commemorating the destruction of the ancient temples, joined here with multiple congregations from the area. That will be right here in the sanctuary. If you've never experienced it, it's a very unique service. We'll be dimming the lights almost to, we'll have to take down the moon. So it'll be pretty dark in here. You may want to bring a flashlight, or at least use the flashlight app on your phone to be able to read. That's at 9 o'clock p.m. Yeah, I'll be right here. You can even sit on the ground. It's traditional to sit on the ground. So you can find a spot. You can sit up here on the bima. You can sit in the aisles. On Sunday at 6 p.m., we have craft and kvetch. You can come here and craft or kvetch or both. It says needle felting or bring your own craft. Please register online. And this weekend, very important, this weekend is your last chance to sign up for the Pirates Jewish Heritage Game happening on Tuesday, August 16th. You still can go, but you won't be able to sit with the Temple Sinai group unless you buy your ticket now. So you can buy that. You can also buy a special Temple Sinai baseball hat. And if you want to sing with us and sing the national anthem, we have one rehearsal on Sunday, August 14th. We will join back here at 2:30 in the afternoon, and you can sing the melody or the harmony. You can join us. If you do that, you get to walk on the field. Pretty cool. And I think that is everything. We are going to move toward the conclusion of our service as we turn to page 282 as we rise in body or in spirit and continue with Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tegidu la'yotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu ki goyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu koreim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, Lemelech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. Please be seated. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We think of those recently departed: Roz Eskovitz, Bernard Lefkowitz, Stanislav Boyko, Morton Seltman. And as is our tradition here, you can rise after you have heard the name of your beloved or the one that you are remembering. We also think of those whose time of yahrzeit has come: Fred Abramovitz, Arlene Edelman, M.A. Baskind, Gloria Berkowitz, Sarah Berman, Lillian Berendt, Bernice Brenner, David Davidson, Rita N. Trekin, Stephen Feinstone, Ruth Fisher, Edward Fishbein, Jacob Fried, Vivian Gale, Max Greenberg, Meyer Greenberg, Bernice Gutstein, Morton Itzkovitz, Maurice Katz, Samuel Kaufman, Joseph Kosis, Sidney Levine, Morton Love, Violet London Marcus, Francis Mullins, Eleanor Mull, Ruth Mulfelder, Sophie Newman, Frank Oshry, Ernest Plout, Marcia Esman Raphael, Charles Reisenstein, Ray Rosenthal, Ben Sablowski, Marcus Saphir, Betty Schillmeister, Philip Schwartz, Ruth Schwarz, Sarah Shrinsky, Phyllis Silver, Lil Simon, Philip Singer, Ann Skeegan, Fred Sonnenberg, Jeanette Tansky, Marvin Tanzer, Renee Manch Taylor, L. Isaac Torben, Leonard Trachtenberg, Jetta Wedner, Meta Weinstein, Ruth Weschler, Anna Weschler, Rose Zager, Lily Zuckerman. If you are remembering anyone tonight or this week for Kaddish Yatom, please feel free to share their name at this time. We join together as one congregation as we rise for Kaddish Yatom, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, Huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, to which we say, Amen. We will join in our closing song, and then we will do our Kiddush and Motzi. Our closing song is Ele Chamda Libi. If you want the words, you can find them on page 11. Or you can just dance in your seats. Ehe lechem da libi, ehe lechem da libi, ehe lechem da libi, ehe lechem da libi. Hey lechem da libi, hey lechem da libi, hey lechem da libi, hey lechem da libi. Chusana ve'anati talem, chusana ve'anati talem. Husana ve'anati talem. Husana ve'anati talem. Husana ve'anati talem. Ehe lechem da libi, Hey 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 lechem da libi. Hey lechem da libi, hey lechem da libi, hey lechem da libi. Chusana, chusana ve'anati talem. Chusana ve'anati talem. Husana ve'anati talem. Husana ve'anati talem. Lechem da libi, lechem da libi, lechem da libi. And now we will sing to the sweetness of Shabbat. If you want the words in front of you, they're on page 123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinachilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lemikra'i kodesh zecher yitziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uv'ratzon hinachatanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. And we join in our motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.